Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. This is Real Talk with Coach Sherry, and this channel is about workforce development, career readiness, entrepreneurship, and of course, real life, real issues, and real talk. So, as you can see from the title of this show, this is going to be about a preview for my live, which I do every Friday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I wanted to give you a preview of who was going to be on tomorrow. I'm so excited for my guest. I'm excited for all of my guests, and I think you all probably have gotten that hint. And this is going to be my 20th Friday Night Live episode, and I am very, very pleased about that. I am testing also my iPad. I want to see if I can use it to go live. So, as people start to come in, I'm going to ask you to help me understand and navigate this. I don't know if I should be looking right at this camera, if I should just look at the screen, if there's a difference. Either way, um, I can't have it too far back because then I won't be able to see the comments, and I want to make sure that I'm able to see them. I don't have my light on high, and I don't know. We're going to see if this is going to work. But if you are new to this channel, I want to welcome you. You could have been anywhere else. And if you've been here before, but you still have not decided what you're going to do, if you're going to hit that subscribe button or not, I invite you right now to please be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell for notification for when I upload new videos. This is an impromptu live. I don't typically go live on Thursday nights, but I just felt compelled to do so. And I wanted to, like I said, test out this iPad to see if it was going to work for me or not. I know people use many different types of devices when they go live. I actually went live yesterday, and I hope you can hear me. Let's see. I went live yesterday for the first time using my phone. I was out and about. I just left a training and I wanted to take you along with me on the train ride home. Well, almost home anyway. Can't take the train all the way home. But I'd use my phone and it worked out really well. So I might do that more often when I'm out and, taking walks or experiencing new things, going to new places. I may do a live that way instead of just a video, because typically that's what I would do is a video and just, do it that way. But I am excited to be here nevertheless. And like I said before, hit that subscribe button. Please give this video a thumbs up. Leave a comment. If you are here in the live, please participate in the chat. I love to have those conversations. This is also a networking opportunity. So if you see people that you are not familiar with, be sure to go write their names down. And then after this live, go check them out, because people that come through are great people. And I encourage you to connect with them. You never know. It might be a collaboration in the future for the two of you. They may have some information, some resources, strategies that you can use. And this is a good place to start. I always look at lives as a network. You have a network of people. Of course, if you go to someone's videos and you check out their comments, you might see people that you already know or new people. They may comment and say something that you agree with. But when you are in a live, even though you can't hear their voice, it is very similar to going to a networking event, working the room, meeting new people, looking at and hearing what they have to say, what they have to offer. So I'm going to wait just a few more minutes. I really want to try and figure out if I can look right here or if I need to look right here. Do I need to turn my head or just my eyes? That's the whole thing with going live. I don't know if any of you have experienced that as well, that when you go live, well, for me anyway, I never know what to look at. Do I look at the camera? Do I look at myself? Do I look at the chat box? I'm not sure, but I'm gonna see if I can type in. I can't even see myself at all now. I'm just gonna type welcome. I'm not sure if going live using my iPad is going to be the best option. Okay, so while I am here and I'm just, still trying to learn and grow, I'm going to go on YouTube on my phone. I see a lot of YouTubers doing this. And while I'm on the phone to see if I can see myself that way, um, if my YouTube is even up, let's see, or if my video is up, my live, I don't see it. Am I? Hi, Edward Smart. Thank you for tuning in. I I'm not sure. I was trying to figure this out. This is my first time using my iPad for a live. First of all, Edward, please help me along. Can you hear me okay? How's the sound? Hi, Vern's Junk Closet. I'm live. Uh, yes, I'm live. I know it seems like I'm playing, but I'm really live. I'm just trying to figure some things out. I'm on my iPad for the first time. I'm trying to navigate even with my phone. I'm trying to find the live on my phone. I don't see it. I don't know how that works. Let me see. Go to my channel. Okay. So don't don't let anyone up. Okay. All right. So what I'm trying to do is Burns and Edward, I appreciate you for being here. If you can help me, I'm trying to first let me know, how does the sound, how do I sound? Can you hear me clearly? Is it too low, or how does it sound? Okay. Is my audio clear, or does it sound really low? And also, in terms of camera, and I'm going to take my time with this. If I look like I'm looking right now, am I looking directly at you right now? Just put a one in the box, the chat box, if I'm looking directly at you right now. Am I looking directly at you right now? Let's see. The audio is fine and is clear. Thank you, Edward. Okay, so I'm looking directly at you when I'm looking here. What about if I look right here? Am I looking directly at you? Put a two in the box if I'm looking directly at you, if I'm looking here. Yes, Floyd. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Verge. We're gonna have to tell someone, talk about Floyd one day. I'm sure people be like, what are they talking about? Floyd? Who is this Floyd? I've seen it pause people in their lives. Like, what? Floyd? Yes. Oh my goodness. Okay. So Edward put two. So if I'm looking right here, I'm looking at you. But if I'm looking right here, I'm looking at you as well. Which one is better? The first one or the second one? Put number one if this is better, like one on one, or put a two if this is better. So one if this is better, or two if this is better. Vern, you are hilarious. Okay, so Edward, you're saying that when I'm looking right here, you feel like I'm looking directly at you now. I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys. Okay. Thank you, Edward Smart. I appreciate that. All right, so this is going to be a preview for my Friday Night Live, which is tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's my 20th episode of having guests come on, and I'm excited for my guests. Thank you for being here. If you guys have just walked in, you have walked into Real Talk with Coach Sherry. This channel is about workforce development, career readiness, entrepreneurship, and of course, real life, real issues, and Real Talk. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications so that you can be notified when I upload new videos. I'm still getting my schedule together. That's why I know Vern's walked in like, wait, what? You're live? Is this real? Because I typically don't go live on Thursday nights. I am a sure shot on Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am trying to go live more often. I do post videos throughout the week, and what I post are tips, strategies around business, tips and strategies regarding your career. I am a coach, and some people say, what do you coach? What's going on? I started off coaching girls basketball right out of college. I had an amazing all-star team, and I even coached girls, or young ladies rather, that were going off to college, and they were just playing summer ball, and so I had coached them then as well. And as time went on, and you know I grew up in a brick and mortar business. I know a lot about business. I love business. I love entrepreneurship. And people started to ask me advice on their business, on marketing and different things. And one day my husband was like, this is a consulting business that you have. All these people coming through here. You need to make it into a real thing. And so I want to say it was probably about 1999 that I started doing more marketing coaching for businesses, small businesses, mid-sized businesses. And what I learned while I was coaching them in their business, because a lot of them were getting stuck. They didn't know where they wanted to go. They felt like they hit a plateau in their business. They wanted to maybe give up. It hadn't even been 3 years, but it started off fast and furious, and then it slowed down and they just didn't know what to do. I started to realize that they were getting in their own way. So I became a certified life coach as well. And I started to coach them within who they were so that they can get more self awareness, self management, have more abundance, think more abundantly, and were able to not only start what they started out to do, but not only just start it, but finish, complete it, continue with it, go on to the next. So they were reaching their goals and going beyond. And, when I put all that together, and just because I was an entrepreneur for so long, I was interviewing people at the age of 13, and I knew a lot about resumes and things like that. I started to do things more on the workforce development side as well. So preparing people for their careers, matching them up, getting them so that they were workplace ready. And I started to actually teach at a community college in the workforce development, where students who were going for their associate's degrees, or just the community at large who may have been displaced, underemployed, unemployed, were coming to figure out what their next steps were going to be. And I loved it. I love helping people win. I love um, being a game changer, seeing how just empowering someone, how it just changes the dynamics of who they are. It changes the dynamics of their families, of their community. And that is what I love to see. And so what I do is my passion. It is my purpose. I love it. And I have a really good track record at doing it. So it's a job that, or it's a career. It's not just a job. It's a career. It's a business. It's a lot of things to me that doesn't just serve me, it serves my community, and especially having children, and this is their country, this is their world. And my legacy is to leave it a better place, to leave it where people are contributors, where things are being changed. And I use a lot of the same systems and mechanisms that I used when I coached basketball, because life is a team sport. Life, in some instances, is a game, and it's a matter of you knowing your position and you playing when you are in your position to win, so that when you win, your whole team wins. And so that's how I got started with that. Let's see. I see Tales of Tea is in the building. Thank you for being here. And hello, Scratching PPA. Good to see you. Verns and Edward Smart were in the building in the beginning, and I appreciate you all because you were not notified. It's not like you said, "Oh, you know what? It's Thursday night. It's 9 o'clock. Coach Sherry's going on." No, that wasn't the situation. So I appreciate you all for being here because you definitely could have been anywhere else. Please be sure to give this live a thumbs up as you walk into the building. I really appreciate that. Um, it's going to be a little challenging for me to see. I don't have my contact lenses in and I don't have any readers. Good to hear that you're doing good, Tales of Tea. Everyone is saying hello. Remember, people in these lives, especially in my lives, are good people. If you don't know them already, I highly recommend that you write down their names and go check out their videos after this live because they are great. And thank you, Verns, for being here and saying hello to everyone. So I'm excited about my guests tomorrow night. I am excited about all my guests, but and for all different reasons, but just as excited for each and every one. And if you know of anyone that you think would be a great guest, please let me know. Leave it in the comment after this video because if you leave it in the chat, I may not be able to capture it. So leave it in the comment section below this video if you know anyone that you think would be a great guest for Real Talk with Coach Sherry. So this man, his name is Eddie Sanders, and I remember when he was writing this book, he actually gave me a draft of it to review for him. And it was an honor for me to do that because, when you write a book, it's like a precious document. It's something you pour in your heart, your soul, your spirit into, and definitely before it is published, you are very particular of who you allow to read it. And so when he approached me with his draft and asked me to review it, like I said, it was an honor. And when I read it, I thought it was phenomenal. And it is finished. And so he is going to be on here tomorrow night. And this is his book. It's called It's Time to Make Your Move. Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life. And this is his book. And tomorrow during the live, I will have the link to his book. You can purchase it on Amazon. This book right here, it's marvelous. First of all, I don't know if you all caught my live last Friday night when I had Dr. Joyce Rowland on, and she has a book, and it's called, oh, I have it right here. Hold on. It's called All That Glitters Is Not Gold. And one of the reasons why I enjoy Dr. Joyce's book is because she has a lot of quotes. It's all quotes, inspirations, African proverbs. It's, oh my goodness, I just saw my video move, but that was me. um, it's African proverbs, it's scriptures, and in addition to that, she has room on every page for you to capture your thoughts around that particular quote or scripture. And it's even about who did you share it with on that day. And so I knew when Eddie Sanders was writing this book that he wanted it to be a book that could be utilized for personal and professional development. He is a motivational speaker as well, and so this is a book that could be utilized like as a class. It could be used as a part of a team building practice. He has discussion questions after each chapter. He has a story in here that will rock your world. It is a great book, and I can't wait to go deep in it and to have him share the journey of writing this book, the purpose of writing this book, because it is time to make your move. If you think it's time to make your move, you need to be here tomorrow night on my Friday Night Live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because he will give you things that will help change your thoughts and change your life. Let me see who else, what you guys are talking about. Um, Everyone is speaking. You're buffering? Okay. I wonder, is anyone else buffering? Thank you, Scratch and Pete. I enjoyed the conversation I had with Dr. Joyce last Friday night. And for all of you who may not know, she is Carter's Eats mother, and she is so inspirational. She is proof, proof that at any age you should have a goal. She is proof that at any age you can reach your goals. So never stop. As long as you have life, live. And that is something that's like a mantra that I used to always say to my mother. We used to say to each other, as she progressed while living with ALS, we would always say, as long as we have life, we are going to live. It may change a little bit. You may have to alter some things, you may have to modify some things, but as long as you have life, live. That means walk, that means go outside, that means make sure your feet touch the ground, that makes sure that you let the sun hit your face when it's up in the sky. Right now it's raining. We're getting the remnants of Zeta, Hurricane Zeta. But as long as you have life, live. So at any age, everything is possible, and that's the beauty of Dr. Joyce. And so I hope Scratch and Pete that you are able to come to my live tomorrow so you can meet Eddie Sanders. And I just want to read the back excerpt from his book where it says, and let me see who else. I see Lily's Crochet, aka Lisa. Lisa is in the building. Thank you for being here. You guys, I have my light a little dimmer, so this is also a test. Like I said, I'm testing out my iPad. This is my first time going live using my iPad. Wow, it's raining hard. Can you guys hear the rain? I wonder if I should have on my earbuds. Can you hear the rain? Let me know if you guys can hear the rain. But what do you think about this lighting? I don't have my full shade up. I just wanted to kind of have it like a chill, kind of cool lighting, nothing too bright. Actually, the bright lighting is starting to really hurt my eyes. So, but I don't mind if that makes it better. So, do you guys prefer this kind of lighting or the bright light? Let me know. Okay, so I'm going to read the back of his book, of Eddie Sanders' book. And this is the book, and he is going to be my special guest tomorrow night. So it says, are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Are you ready to strive for something different in life? If you answered yes to these two questions, then this book is for you. What holds you hostage from pursuing your dreams? If you have decided that the path that you are traveling on is leading you nowhere, then how do you find the right path? It's an inside job. That's right. It starts with changing your mind and believing that you can move forward in your life. It's time to make your move. It's designed to inspire, encourage, and motivate you to be courageous and take those first steps to change your life. Let's get started. So, this is going to be dynamic. And if you are able to catch it live, be sure to be prepared to participate in the chat. Don't forget your paper and pen because there's going to be nuggets dropped. And feel free to invite other people to come in. And if you want to share it, that's great too. But, invite your friends over. Say, I want to invite you to this live because I think it's going to be a message that's going to inspire you, motivate you, encourage you, empower you. That's what it's all about. There's so much going on right now. And if we focus on what is actually going on right now, it'll pause us, it'll paralyze us, it'll make us just stand still and wonder what, just what. So, in these times, it's important to get poured into more information, things that are going to push you forward, things that are going to fill your life with positivity, things that are going to fill your life with energy so that you can take that next step, so that you will have the oxygen, so that you will have the fuel that you need to continue moving on. And that's what my special guest tomorrow is going to do for you. So I'm excited. Yeah, Angie, you can hear the rain a little bit, right? It is, oh, y'all, it was so windy today. People all around were losing power, and I am so thankful that we didn't lose power. but people all around were losing power, were losing internet connection. It was a lot going on. I believe our internet is the Google Fiber, so it's underground. So we typically don't have a lot of challenges with the internet, but definitely power would be something, you know. But the blessing is it's not too cold, it's not too hot, but it has been so humid. If you remember my live yesterday when I was taking the train from uptown to, well, not all the way home, but I was taking the train home basically. Um, I was like pouring sweat. I was so hot, but it was only 72 degrees. That's the part I didn't understand. I'm like, why is it so hot? Okay, so I think I might be okay. I'm looking at, I have my live up on my phone, and I know that some people would say that from StreamYard to YouTube, there's a slight delay. So let me see. I see Boss Life Online is in the building. Welcome to the live. You guys, if you want to see some amazing editing, Boss Life Online, her videos, she edits them wonderfully. It's great music, it's great visuals, it's great messages. I highly recommend that you check out her videos. Vern's Drum Closet is thanking everyone for being here. She is remarkable. She is better known as the YT cheerleader. And she has been so encouraging to me and just helps me see things in different perspectives. Boss Life Online is a cheerleader as well. You have a whole squad when there's a cheerleader, and there's actually 7 on their squad. Every day they have what is called Drop the Link. If you're not familiar with that, I highly recommend that you look it up. Go to Vern's Young Closet, go to Boss Life Online. There's Be Amazing Sylvia, Team Ranger 92308, 92803, 92038, 9. I can't remember the the numbers of his, but Just Teresa as well is on there, and Candy's Hair Candy and more, and 7 days a week. Oh, and Clee and Mills as well, and every day at different times for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. It really just depends on how it's rocking, but it's a great opportunity to meet new people. It's a great networking opportunity. So it's live, and I know that I have met amazing people there. And that's why I say lives are really a networking opportunity. It's not about, oh, I'm going to see who's there, whatever. If you go to a networking event for your job, for your business, whatever your business is, you're not just going there just to be there, just to be on the wall. No, you're going there to meet people. So that's what this is all about. Just say hi, how you doing? Write their names down and go check them out later. Oh, you said 92308. Okay, that's what it is. Team Ranger 92308. I know it was some numbers. I was like, is that his zip code, area code? Everyone is saying hello. Thank you so much for being here. I was just coming on here real quick. I had spoken and was on Vern's live earlier. She was talking about C-19 and, just the importance of wearing your mask. It's not just about you. Right now, it's all hands on deck. It's about everyone. We can't just think of ourselves. We have to think about our loved ones. We have to think about our communities. We have to think about our families. So wearing a mask is not just for you, it's for all the people that the people you're going home to. And I really appreciated her speaking out about that and having an open dialogue. So many people were sharing stories of people that they have known to have had C-19, that they have known to have passed from C-19. This is something that's affecting everyone, one from the wealthiest to the poorest and all in between, the young, the old. There's no discrimination, all races. And so we have to take heed on that. And at some point, we have to be accountable, because if we're not doing the right thing, we can't expect the right thing to happen for us. So we all need to take a moment and just do the right thing. And Vern had a great live. If you didn't see it, go to Vern's Junk Closet and check it out. And I'm so glad that you're in the building. It's really good to see you. Scratch and Pete and I have just connected, and I really enjoy the support. I'm trying to tell y'all, there's some great YouTube channels out here. Edward Smart is always there. You know, you have your, what they call it. I'm never good at these things. Day one. Wait, my one from day one. Is that what it is? It's one day one, number one from day one. Does anybody know? Let me see. Everyone is saying hello, but you know what I mean. People that have been rocking with you since day one. So yes, I have been on YouTube for a very long time, since 2008. But I have just started building my channel seriously, I want to say in December of 2019. And so these people that I have met since then, I almost could name them all. And I know Edward Smart is one of them, even though he and I are relatively new to one another. And I just appreciate it. And if you haven't started building your channel and you decide to, you'll know who those people are. When you see them, you know, it's just something about it. It's almost like seeing a family member, like, oh look, there goes such and such. Like when I started this live, I didn't plan it or anything. It was just like I just felt like I needed to come live because let me tell y'all, this week has been something else. It has I really every week I have is something else because I have so many things that I do, and so it's always constant. But I just received some information and one day I will share it. But I received some information today, this morning. It was one of the first things I saw, and it just really it rocked my world. It rocked my world for real. In real life it rocked my world. And it's one day I will definitely share it. It's just too soon. It's a lot going on around it, and I don't want to really speak life into what happened because it's not good. So this is a very light live. I see the Ford Beautification Project is in the building. Bright Creations, hello, hello everyone. Thank you for being here. This is awesome. Oh, Kanisha, Harry, Kanisha, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. How's it going? I hope things are going well. I see everyone is saying hello. Everyone's saying good night. Some people, yes, everyone is speaking. This is awesome. Hi there. Yes, and you know what? I've learned about myself, especially I'm relatively new to going live. I don't really multitask well with the live. Like oh, okay, so me, I won't, I won't be able to do this because I'm on my iPad. I was trying to bring some of the, oh wait, oh I could do that. Oh, okay, hold on. Okay, you know what? Don't be so quick to talk about what you can't do. Oh, do y'all hear the rain? Oh my gosh, these drops sound huge. I'm prayerful for the people that live in the tent cities. I don't know if you noticed, if you came with me when I was commuting home last night or yesterday evening, and I was showing you like parts of Charlotte as we were going by, and there's an area that's all tents, and this weather right here, oh goodness. Okay, so I'm not really good at multitasking. You know, checking the chat. I love the chat. The chat is a place I love to hang out. If I've been in any of your lives, you know how I am. I really I enjoy being in the chats. But is I want to focus on what you all are saying. I want to focus on what I want to share with you. So I have been looking for a producer, and someone heard my cry, and so probably next week I'll be doing some lives where her and I will be doing some beta testing on how we're going to work together, how she's going to help me navigate the chat while I'm on. I know that I'm not a big YouTuber yet, but I've always been told to move how you want to move, like dress for your next position. move as if you have what you want to accomplish or what you want to be. So I really want to develop and grow into a channel that will actually require a producer. And I know that doing trainings online, like via Zoom, WebEx, Microsoft Teams, platforms like that, Adobe, it's really important to have a producer so that you can focus on the content and the students or the participants while the producer can funnel questions, comments, concerns, issues, whatever to you. But they're in the back room, taking care of all that. Do y'all hear that rain? This is going to be some good sleeping weather. I can promise you that. Oh my goodness. Bright Creations, it's so good to see you. It's so great to see everyone. I just want to make sure I don't miss anyone. And Kanisha, Harry, how's everybody? How's everybody doing? Lisa Crochet, aka Lisa Lisa. Is everybody doing good? How is the weather where you are today? Because like I said, we're getting remnants of Hurricane Zeta. Samantha's life. Thank you, Samantha's life, for for sharing that and saying to thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, you guys, really what I'm on here for is to practice with my iPad. I've never gone live with my iPad. And of course, to share with everyone who my special guest is going to be tomorrow, which is Eddie Sanders, and he is the author of this book. Can everybody see? It's time to make your move. And years ago, I was honored to review it when it was in draft form, and I knew it was going to be a slam dunk. And it is now published. It's on Amazon. I am going to have the link to the book. I'm not sure if I'm going to put it in the description box here, but it's definitely going to be in the description box um, where the live is going to be tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can call this your official invitation to come to the live. Please bring your pen and paper so you can take notes and share it with people that you may know. I know that this book, he designed it really for sports teams. He does a lot of motivational speaking to different sports teams. He does motivational speaking to organizations, nonprofits, anyone that is really about grooming the whole person. And especially now, I'm finding that companies, organizations, even though they are virtual, they are understanding more and more that it's about the whole person. It's not about just cranking out the work, it's about making sure that the people are good. And so his book is making sure that you are good, that your people are good. He has discussion questions at the end of each chapter, and the story is so compelling. I promise you, there's things that you go through in life and you need to pay attention. It's the earlier you could pay attention, the better. If you have young children, young people in your life, when things are going on around, have them pause. Wow. Have them pause and comment. Ask them questions. What are their thoughts about what just happened? Make them aware, make them present so that they can get into the habit of doing that, because those experiences, those things they just saw, those things that they just went through, in the meantime, they've gathered skills, they gained skills that will propel them. They don't know, you don't know. It's not for you to know because all of our steps are ordered. But when you are able to take those experiences and move forward into another realm of things, it is amazing. And what he has taken from this experience that this book is around, the story that this book is really built around, has been remarkable. So I'm excited to have him. I'm trying to tell y'all, I used to have a blog sports radio show years ago, not too long, but probably, I think my last episode might have been like 2017 or something like that. But I had 100 episodes on that show. But when you deal with like a blog radio show or something like that, where there are other hosts and you have a time slot, you have to adhere to that time slot no matter what. And I love the opportunity. I mean, I wasn't looking for it. I was approached with it and I took it. I'm the type of person, if you approach me with it, approach it to me and it makes sense and it fits in with what I'm doing or where I'm going or trying to go, I will at least try it. I will at least attempt it. I will at least put my best foot forward and see what happens. And that's what I did when I was approached years ago to do a blog sports talk radio show. I was so surprised that they wanted me because my husband used to do a sports radio show on like regular radio. And so I'm like, you sure you don't want him? And they were like, no, we want a female's perspective. And you know a lot about sports and you know you have a lot to say. So and I put a twist on it. I talked about life after sports, like what athletes do after they finish, what kind of job sports having played sports, whether it's high school, collegiate, professional, whatever, how sports has played a big role in what they do and who they are. And I mean, I have to find my notebook because I had referees on there. Have you ever seen an interview with a referee before? I'm trying to tell you, referees, what they do is real deal. When I did that interview, people started treating referees differently after that because they go through a lot. It's a lot of psychological. They are getting cussed at, things thrown at them, threats, all kinds of things they have to deal with during and after games. So, you know, it just made people more mindful of what they go through mentally, physically, emotionally to be a referee. And I'm trying to tell y'all, referees can make a lot of money. Professional referees, they make well into the six figures. Well into the six figures. But you know, it's a lot of opportunities out there. And you know, with Eddie, I had him on that show. And the thing also about having that blog radio show, I had a time limit. I only had an hour. Plus, we had commercials. So I had to do my intro. I had to pause like two times at least, I think two or three times within the hour to play the commercials because we were sponsored. And by the time, I mean, you know, I'm very curious, so I have a lot of questions and I want to know like the root. I know the what's happening. I can see that. Everybody can see that. But I want to know how you got there. What's deep down in there? What did you experience? What made you do that? And so I'm asking a lot of leading questions to get to where you are, to get to what we can see. And by the time I would get there, it would be like the hours up and I'm like, "Oh my goodness, are you so serious?" So a lot of times I would have to have my guests on like part two, part three, because there was still so much. I mean, if you live life and you understand the life that you've lived and know that every step that you have taken has gotten you to where you are and beyond, you have a long story. And you don't know what that story, that test, those tests that you went through, which is your testimony, how it can impact someone else. So I think it's so important to say, I don't like to sugarcoat, I don't like to cross over, glaze over, you know, pass over anything that I feel is going to be a valuable nugget for someone. And so that's why when I was talking with Eddie about being a guest on my show tomorrow night, I was like, you know what? We're going to have more than an hour, however long you need. That's the beauty of YouTube. You know, it doesn't, there's no real time limit in that way. Wow, I looked away for a second. You see what I'm saying? And I have all of these people. I see everyone saying hi. Hi, J601. Good to see you. Good to see you here. Yes, I see people are speaking. I see Vernell Livingston is in the building. Good to see you all the way out there in California. Yes, let's see. Oh, yeah. I feel like, you know, sharing experiences are so important. Some people share their experiences through song, you know, songwriters. Some people share their experiences through books, through paintings, you know, art, through even clothing. There's so many different ways to express you, your experiences, your skills, all those things. And for me, I'm finding that it's just through verbal storytelling. You know, one day I may put it into a book. I have another book idea that I am just prayerful happens before December. But you know, everyone has has experiences to share. And some people might think, oh, nobody wants to hear that. Maybe no one you know, but there are people out there that need to hear what you have to say. I always say, I'm not necessarily talking to the person in front of me, I'm talking to the person that they know. Because we all know someone that can use something, hear something that has been shared with us along the way. And so it's really up to us to not just keep it to ourselves, but to share it with others. When I when I teach and instruct and facilitate workshops, especially soft skills workshops, let me tell y'all, it's no Bright Creations. Where are you? Oh my goodness, where are you? Snow? Kanisha Harry, I'm happy to have you. You're saying I'm happy I came here tonight. I needed to be reminded to dress for where you are going. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. I was told that years ago. Some people look at things like, oh, like for instance, my daughter went to an interview and I, she didn't have on a. It wasn't an interview really. It was like a for not. I guess it's kind of like a formal meeting more so. And, she dressed the part. And when she got there, they were like, oh, it's dress down Friday for us. You didn't have to do that. They had on jeans, whatever. No, she had to do that because she's dressing for her next position. And that's how you have to look at things. It's one of those, it's better to be over prepared and not need than under prepared and have to need. So if you, for instance, with clothing, if you are dressed, I'd rather be dressed overdressed than underdressed. Because if you're dressed over, I don't know, it's just you feel good about yourself, you feel confident. If you're underdressed and everyone else is dressed well, you're like, oh, I should have probably put on, you feel, but no, dress for that next position. You never know who's watching. One thing that I tell people that hire me as their coach, one thing I tell my apprentices, my interns, employees, I say, you don't know who's watching. Everyone thinks the person that's in front of them, the person that they can see, and that's not typically the person that's really watching you. So you have to always be mindful that someone is there watching you. And if you want to go real deep, that someone is really God. So you always want to do your best for him because he is the reason. And so why disappoint him? You know, why make it seem like you're taking advantage of all that he has provided for you, all that he has given you, all those opportunities? But in addition to him, it's just so many other people that are watching. People have people watching for them, so you want to make sure that you are well groomed. I know I had a an employee. Well, actually, a it wasn't an employee, it was a client that wanted to be promoted and didn't understand why they kept getting passed up. And when I would see them, I'm like, are you showing up like this? And they were like, yeah, well, because I do this type of work. And I'm like, but the job that you're trying to get is going to require you to look differently. So why not look like that next position so that they could even see you there? Like, you know what? That person is always well kept, well groomed, polished, and they could do so much more. They will be a great representation for the company. They represent themselves, their brand. So I know they can represent our brand too. So always keep that in mind. You were in Colorado? Wow. Yeah, I heard that Colorado was getting some weather that was really interesting. Over 50 and fantabulous. Hi there. She was the birthday girl on Sunday, so I was glad to be able to pop over and see you on your birthday. How are you doing? Many can relate to different subject matter. Yes, absolutely. Let's see. Vernella saying she's good. And so Bright Creation is saying, I'm saying we have two, they have snow last this week and thinking to melt to go out. So it's a lot of snow, Bright Creations, that you have. Thank you, Kanisha. And Lily's Crochet, aka Lisa, is saying, "Good night, coach. I'm getting sleepy. Good night. Good night. Thank you for being here." Absolutely. I understand that sleepy part. It's snowing in Detroit already. In St. Louis. You guys, St. Louis is something else. St. Louis was my favorite place to live, believe it or not. I loved St. Louis. The thing about St. Louis, though, it's hot or cold. It is just hot or cold. Real cold, real hot. But I love the people. The people there were just marvelous. They just reminded me of family, friends, good people, just want to have good, clean fun. We really connected with a good group of people. We were part of a community center with young people that my husband and I ministered to. My husband and I, we volunteered at. We did a lot for them, and it was just a great opportunity for us there. It was interesting because it he was part of the first year that the Rams were in St. Louis, and so that was an experience that I don't think too many people have, to be like the first year of a team being in a new city, and to have come from LA. It it was completely different, but I loved it. And it was great, I think, for the team, because the team to me in LA was the LA Rams were disjointed. They weren't really open to new people coming in. And I say that because I was a new person coming in. And it's a little different from the wives' perspective, because the guys already know each other basically, whether they went to college together, played against each other in college, or just knowing each other just around and about. Whereas the wives, we don't know each other from anything. And so I don't know, it was just a little different. And going to LA it was not welcoming, let's put it that way. But when we got to St. Louis and everyone was brand new, everyone was out of balance, off balance and everything. It was like everyone was starting on the same page. And it just was so much fun. I loved it. I loved our place, everything about it. And we got our dog there. We had a boxer. He was our trial baby. And that Thanksgiving, our first Thanksgiving there, and because everyone was so out of sorts and it was just weird, for a lot of people. For me, I thrived in that's Vern's word, thrive. I thrived in St. Louis. But we actually had the whole entire offensive line to come to our house for Thanksgiving. I don't cook, but my mother-in-law was there. But it was just that type of environment where you felt like you want to just open it up. We would have red light parties. We had a basement, and it was a finished basement, and we would put a red light bulb in. Remember back in the day? And then we would get like fried chicken and stuff like that, potato salad, and put it in the kitchen on a table. Because I don't know if y'all had house parties growing up, but we did. And the food would be in the kitchen, and the party would be in the basement. And so we did it kind of like that, and we called it a red. We kicked it, kicking it. We called it kicking it live, like an '85 party. And this was in 1995, 96. And we would invite, the team, and sometimes my girlfriends from Jersey would fly in, and we would just have a good time. It was so much fun. And it'd be husbands and wives there. It was really cool. We had a really good time. I had a good time. Much fun. Let's see. So much fun. um Okay, so yes, thank you for stopping by. Absolutely. And over 50 and Fantabulous said, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. You never get that second chance. Absolutely not. So you always, try and have your questions. If you know you're going to see someone that's going to make a difference, like for instance, okay, who y'all I don't know if I should go into it, because it's, well, okay. So when I came back to North Carolina after being in Virginia caring for my mother, I knew that I wanted to be in the realm of workforce development because I was an adjunct at the community college in Virginia doing workforce development. And I wanted to see what the lay of the land was in Charlotte because I hadn't been here in a while, boom, boom, whatever. And so, Black Enterprise Magazine and Bill and Melinda Gates put on an event called the 2020 Initiative. And I went to that event and I was like, when I saw who was on the panel, I was thinking to myself, I should be on the panel because I did what they're saying they want to have done. I've done and I can do what they are probably going to have someone else do, but they're just talking about it. Like I'm being about it. That's what I always say. Don't talk about it, be about it. And so I was like, I can do it because what they were saying is that by 2020, which is right now, and this was in like 2012, this was 2012, they said that by 2020, we were going to have millions and millions of jobs. And we were going to have millions and millions of people that were unemployed, but they were going to be unemployed because they weren't skilled to do those jobs. So the initiative was to skill up the workforce so that when 2020 came, they would be prepared to move into those jobs. And those jobs were simple. I mean, not simple, but things that we took for granted, I want to say, like plumbing, electricians, mechanics, even like cybersecurity. Right now, there's over 2 million jobs in cybersecurity that need to be filled. Okay. I know of a guy in Raleigh, North Carolina that has a cybersecurity apprenticeship program where he doesn't want you to have any experience or education. Come to him with a high school diploma and the willingness to learn, and he will teach you everything you need to know to do cybersecurity for his clients. And I want to say you make like between $50,000 and $80,000. It's opportunities like that. People just know, they realize that I can teach you everything you need to know to do this job and do it well. So when I was there, and like I said, I was like, I need to be on the stage because I should be talking about, some of the things that I did in Virginia and what I know I can do. And I went up to, what's the son's name from Black Enterprise Magazine? Let me know if y'all know his name. Vernell is saying, where you're overdressed, at least you can take some of the stuff off. Yes, exactly. You might take your jacket off if you have on a suit, unbutton the top button, whatever. Okay, people are saying hello. And Vernell says, Coach, now you know Cedric the Entertainer is from St. Louis. I know. And then you have Miss Robbie. Welcome to the Sweetie Pies restaurant. I know. But you know what? She didn't have that restaurant when we were there. But when we were in St. Louis, we did see D.L. Hughley perform Cedric the Entertainer. We never saw him in person. Well, we saw him in person in Charlotte twice. Um, let's see. And so Vernell is saying, yes, many house parties. My parents did because I was in social club and all that good stuff. My mom was a good cook, so we always have somebody at my house. Yes, that's how it was at mine. And Be the Difference. Hi, Be the Difference Clothing. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Okay, thank you, Bright Creations, for stopping by. I appreciate it. I mean, this was spur of the moment. So you being here definitely made it special. Okay, everyone is speaking. If you guys remember, what was my question? See how it is when I go back and forth with the live? I lost my train of thought just that quick. What was I talking about, Vern? Edward, what was I talking about? Whew, I can't remember. It's getting late for me too. Can't y'all tell? Mm, mm, mm. But at any rate, I loved St. Louis. That's not the moral of the story. And I know I was telling you something else. It wasn't meant for me to tell you everything in the other part that I was telling you about. But it was deep. I know it was. But you guys, I appreciate you all for being here and hanging out with me. Remember, this channel is about workforce development, career ready. Oh yeah, the son for Black Enterprise, Graves. Earl Graves Jr., I believe his name is. But I went up to him and I already had my resume with me, my bio, everything. And I was like, listen, I love this event. I think it was very informative, but I should have been on that panel. And he was like, really? Like, wait a minute. First of all, how'd you get up to me? How'd you come over here? But you know me. Somehow I end up in people, in front of people. But at any rate, I was like, I should have been there. I should have been up there. I believe I should have. And I said, this is my resume and my bio, and so for the next one maybe. And he was like, okay, well, give it to my assistant, talk to her. And I went to his assistant, and I think she was telling me something about, well, I know she was about this AmeriCorps program. And I looked into it, and it was like they were looking for volunteers to come in maybe once a week to Title One schools and talk to the students and teach them things and, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I want to be with them every day because when I was in Virginia being an adjunct with workforce development, I was working with 18 to 70-year-olds. And I'm trying to tell you, the people in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, 60s even were telling me, Coach Sherry, and they called me Coach Sherry back then, Coach Sherry, if I would have known what you teaching me now, oh, my whole path would have been different coming out of high school. And so I was like, really? They're like, yeah, because see, my thing is, it's never too late anyway. There's always time to be able to rebrand, new beginnings, always. So I was like, you think? And they was like, yes. And so when I heard about this AmeriCorps program, I said, it might give me a chance to see if what I did for the adults can work on middle school students. And so I applied for it as a fellow, as a teaching fellow, versus as that volunteer that just comes in once a week. Do. No, I wanted to be up in there with them. And it was a 2-year program. It was one of the most challenging things I've ever done, but also one of the most fulfilling things I've ever done. I mean, I had an opportunity to call parents, and the parents are like, what did he do now? And I'm like, oh, what did he do? Oh, he just recited, boom, boom. He just read a whole book. He just did this, that, and the other. I never called the parents with something bad, with a bad report. I always, when I called them, it was for something good. And that was the first time in many of those students' lives that their parents got a praise report. My students were in honors English in the 7th grade, but were reading on a 3rd grade level. How is that? So it was my job to get them to grade level and hopefully beyond. And I was successful in that. And do you understand that feeling? Because let me tell you, people think because you can read words that you understand what you're reading. You don't all the time. Comprehension is what is tested on. It's comprehension. If you can't understand the words that you're reading, then you don't know what you're reading. And that is the shortcoming. So if you have an opportunity to go out into your communities, especially once all of this lifts, if you have an opportunity to go into the elementary schools, the pre-K schools, the middle schools, whatever, and sit and read to students, please do so. But don't just read about it. Ask questions. That's why I love books that are interactive, that have questions in them. Like my special guest tomorrow, who wrote It's Time to Make Your Move, and how he has discussion questions after every chapter. Like, that is so dope to me, because it's more than just reading the words and then it's in one ear and out the other. It means nothing. But when you write down what you understood that to mean and then have deep discussions on it, what? You know, the understanding that you just gleaned from that? That is so important. That's why some people don't complete job applications, because they don't understand what is being asked. It's not that they can't read it, it's that they may not understand exactly what is being asked. And that is on so many levels, so many age groups. It is, and it's across the board. Comprehension is the thing. Because at first I didn't understand that. I'm looking at people, why did he test at a BR level? Do you know what a BR level is? That's 3 years old. That's before preschool. I'm like, he can read. But then when he takes a test, everything's wrong because he didn't understand the questions. That's the thing. So when you are reading to a young child, ask them questions about what they just heard, about what you just read to them. That is so important, having that communication. Another thing that I do when I'm training people is help them identify their feelings. Your feelings are important to be able to put a name to. It's more than I'm mad, I'm sad, I'm happy. It's more. It's I'm anxious. I'm thoughtful. I'm I'm pondering that. I'm vexed. Put words to your feelings, and teaching young people early to do that will help them so much. Why do you think babies cry? Because they can't communicate what's wrong. When my children were babies, we taught them sign language so that they can communicate what was going on. And the main sign language was this, which is more. Talking about they hungry still. But you have to understand that a lot of frustration, a lot of attitudes, a lot of behavior problems come because they don't know how to communicate or communicate with you, vice versa. Okay, let's see. Yes, Edward Smart, reading comprehension is essential. Be the difference. That's dope. You are dope. I love you. Vernell Livingston, being on the panel in Virginia. Yes, Edward, cybersecurity. Now, before this C19, because the person who I know that has the apprenticeship program, I've spoken to him quite a few times. I met him like 2 years ago at a conference, and an apprenticeship conference, and I was blown away. Let me tell you. So he was like, he was dynamic. I want to say he's former military as well. And so when he was talking, and he said that there's certain colleges, there's like 130 colleges in this country that if you major in cybersecurity, they will pay you 20 to $30,000 plus pay your tuition. All right, just to learn cybersecurity. It's a special program. I can't remember the name of it. I have it written down somewhere in my notes. I have to. I don't know. I can't. If I come across it, maybe I'll do a video on it. You know what? Maybe I'll have him come on as a guest. That's what I'll do. I have him come. That's what. This is why I need a producer. I will. I need to write that down. I'll have him come on as a guest. Okay. So my son at the time, it was his junior year spring semester when I met this man. I literally called my son and I said, "You need to change your major." He was like, "What?" I said, "You need to change your major because your school, my son's school, so happens to have that program." I said, "This is what you do." He was like, "Mom, I mean, you couldn't tell me this 2 years ago? Like, I'm almost done. Are you kidding me?" So, it didn't work out like that for him. But yeah, cybersecurity is huge. Banks need it, utilities need it, local government needs it. What else? Manufacturing needs it. So many, and you know what? When you are on a conference call and people cannot see you, like if I'm not talking about a Zoom call, WebEx, I'm talking about like a call with you and maybe two or three other people that y'all may have conference called in. I don't know what you want to call it, free conference call or whatever, just talking on the phone. You're supposed to state your name every time you say something. Even if people know your voice, you're supposed to be like, "This is Sherry," and then state whatever it is, because that's security. When I do a conference on Zoom, WebEx, Adobe, Team Meets, any of those things, and I know who has been invited. I write down everyone who is there, their names down, and if it's a number, I say, "Whose number is this?" And if no one can identify, I'll kick that number out. If it's a person, like it's not a picture, it's not a number, anything like that, I just don't know who it is. I'm asking, who's calling number 5? You have to know who everyone is before you start a meeting, because that's cybersecurity. You stating your name before you speak is part of cybersecurity. So it's so much more than just what you might think, like hacking in terms of breaking into Bitcoin or something like that. It's so much more than that. And when I had spoken with him, I spoke to him at length. Oh my goodness, this man! Oh yes, I need to. I need to try to have him on one week because he changes some games. Promise you. Let's see. Whew, yes. Um, it's important that you understand what you read. That's Edward Smart. Yes. You'll be so amazed at how many people don't understand what they're reading. And that's why, like when I have opportunities, this is what I do. When I have an opportunity and I know it's gonna hire a bunch of people, I have a lot of external partners. And I let them know beforehand, like, listen, this is coming down the line. When it comes down, I need you to get your people ready. And I'm talking about like, think of any major. I'm not talking about like headhunter type things. I'm talking about people that work with people in the community. And I'm like, make sure their resumes are tight. This is what the type of person we're going to need. They're not going to need any experience in this. All they need to do is want to work hard and learn and have a career. And when it's open, I send them the link and I say, I need you to make sure they fill the application out correctly. I need you to make sure that their resumes are aligned with who we're looking for. And it's not about, like I said, it's not about them having experience, but it's just about having something that can kind of highlight who they are as a person, what skills they're bringing, even if it's not necessarily the skill of that particular job, but there are skills that we still look for, soft skill type things. Like, are you a team player? Can you collaborate? Can you multitask? Are you good with organization? Just things like that. And I'm like, please sit with them, have a mini class with it where you have maybe 3 or 4 people and you're there helping them with this application, because I'm trying to tell you, applications, especially if it's a machine that sees it first, if it's not complete right, if it's not talking to the position, they'll shoot it out before human eyes can ever see it. So it's important to make sure that you have everything on there that needs to be on there. Let me see. Vernell is saying, I was a surrogate mother of my children's school. Everywhere they went, especially in elementary, the parents would be skinning for me. Yes, let me tell you, my husband and I, especially in elementary school, ooh, my husband, what? He was there every day, all day. He'd be in the parking lot. I remember when they built, because some schools, I don't know if this happens where y'all are, but for some reason, especially in newer areas and newer schools, which is like crazy to me, because they would have to put trailers up to accommodate the growth of the school. And they put the first graders out in the trailers this first year, and my son was in first grade, and my husband was like, so when they go to the bathroom, they have to leave the trailer and walk outside and then into the school. Mm, okay. Like that did not sit well with him. So he was like security until they got the security cameras out. He was like, that ain't gonna work for me. So, but we always would read, volunteer. I mean, first of all, that elementary school, over 100 parents would volunteer every single day. It was remarkable. It was such a cooperative community school. Let's see, conference call minus the video. Yes, that's basically and that was more popular before, and sometimes people still kind of go into it. I mean, when you think about it, what's the point of having all these video conferences when people don't even turn their cameras on? I'd be like, especially if you are the leader of that particular call, that meeting, have your camera on, be camera ready. Don't fall into the okey doke of, well, nobody has their camera on. I promise you, you don't know who's watching. You don't know who is watching. My daughter, 18 years old, right out of high school, applied for an AmeriCorps opportunity in case she decided to take a gap year because of the way C-19 was going. We didn't know what was going to happen with school, with college, whatever. And this was going to be another great option because she was going to have a like $1,500 a month stipend. It was a 10-month assignment, $1,500 a month stipend. She's 18. That's all she lives at home. And then at the end, a $6,800 scholarship. And then she would have started her freshman year the next year. So it was a group interview. It was her. It was a girl who recently graduated from college, and an older woman who was a grandmother actually, that went back to college later in life after her kids, were grown and everything, and she had just finished school herself, but she had a lot of experience. And two people that were doing the interview for the three of them. My daughter, 18 years old, was the only one out of the ones that were being interviewed who had her camera on. So who do you think they and she had no experience in any of the things they were talking about. Who do you think got the job offer? My daughter. She ended up not taking it because she did start school. She's doing her school virtually, but still, you just never know. You never know. I always used to say, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. That's the thing. Let's see. Thank you for thinking that Be the Difference clothing. I think we all are well connected. We all know remarkable people. It's just a matter of how we navigate it. You definitely, you have so much value to give to other people, and when you really understand that and you are meeting up with people, you share with them, like, and I know you're good at that because I just your lives, you're a networker at heart. I know it. um when you It's almost like seizing the opportunity. You know what the landscape is going to be, and you just make your moves when the door opens. God sometimes only give you that one shot. He wants to see what you're going to do with it. And so that's why I tell people, don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid to do something that is not the norm for where you come from, who you know. There's going to be naysayers of people who say what they're not going to do. I have plenty of friends that would be like, please, I wouldn't be moving all over the place with my husband. I'd just be like, you go do your thing, and I'll be here. And I'm like, really? Do you know all the experiences that I had just from doing that? And besides, that was the vow that I took, and making our house a home wherever we went. That was my pleasure to do that. And it just opened up so much more. I mean, I'm a girl from Teaneck, went to school in Pennsylvania, 3 hours away. I wasn't thinking I was gonna move that far all the time away from my family. I love my family. Whenever I would leave my family, even to this moment, I cry. So I'm definitely rooted, but I know that in order to expand, in order to fill up my bag, I need to go out and explore and receive and be open, and you just never know. Oh my goodness, you just never know. Um, let's see, Vern's junk closet. Thank you. So you guys, just seize the moment. You just never know. You never know even who's watching on YouTube. I know that's something that Vern's junk closet talks about all the time. You just never know who is watching. I mean, you do what you do because you love it. You do what you do because you're great at it, but you're doing it to serve others. And in the meantime of serving others, in the midst of serving others, you just never know where it will lead you. And so, like I said, this is your invitation to join me tomorrow night. And it's going to be at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My special guest, Eddie Sanders. And I cannot wait to talk with him because, like I said, I saw this book in draft form. And so I'm so proud of him that he has it out. And this is his book right here. He's doing some great things. He actually was in the Carolinas, but now he and his wife are in Tennessee, and he works for, um, let me see the name of the college. He works for the girls' basketball team, but he is like the businessman for the women's basketball team, not the girls. He does the operations, and is at Middle Tennessee University in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And his journey is really good. He's a motivational speaker, and he's a great guy. And I think that his voice needs to be heard. I'm trying to encourage him to get a YouTube channel as well because he has a lot to say, and I think a lot of people, especially men, young men especially, will benefit from him. But men and women will benefit from him. Everything I feel is unisex when it comes to professional and personal development. So if you are available, be sure to come, bring your pen and paper so you can catch those nuggets and write it down. And remember, this channel is about workforce development, career readiness, entrepreneurship, real life, real issues, and real talk. I want to thank everyone that came and were part of this live and participated in this chat. I'm here trying out my iPad for the first time on live. I never even recorded from my iPad. So this is all interesting. Yes, and Vernell is saying new things expand your mind and taking a risk. That's when you get the best opportunities in your life. I'm trying to tell you, taking so many risks. I've done so many remarkable things, things that most people don't wouldn't even believe. They were like, "You're right." But you know what? That's okay because I know, and God knows because He had me. I always used to say, God take care of His kids. Ooh, He loved me so much, and He takes care of me so well, and I love Him that much more. So, um, and I knew He always had me. And even in business, my husband and I will put. It was almost like we didn't literally do it, but I felt like we were doing it. We would always say, "Is we got each other's back? You know, we're back to back, and God got us like surrounded." Because some of the decisions and business moves we had to make at an early age. I'm talking 33, 34 years old. It was some big deals, and I've learned so much because of them, and I'm so grateful for them. I'm so grateful that my husband has a huge vision and he goes forward with it. Um, I won't say he goes forward fast because I would tell him sometimes, like, let's just do it. Like, we know it. We've been learning about it. We've been reading up on it. We've been talking to people. Let's stop talking about it and be about it. Let's be about it. And so, you know, we would step out on faith and just go and just pray that great people were going to be there to support. And we were always very, very blessed in that way. And you have to believe that. So whatever you do, that can be part of your prayer that the people that come along your way, your path, are great people that are there to support you, people that want you to win, people that will pour into you information, knowledge that you need to succeed. Don't think about what could happen. We never thought about what could happen. Like what if it didn't work? We never thought like that. Mm-mm. And my even with my apprentices and my interns, my success rate is 90%. And people would say, "How do you have such a high percent of completion?" I said, "Because I never, when they start, I never think they're gonna quit. That's not, and I tell them that I expect you to finish. I'm here to coach you through. Unless you move, like I had one apprentice that moved to back to Brooklyn. Unless you move, I expect you to finish. This is a great opportunity. I show them the dare to dream. you know, if you go into things expecting to win, if you go into things expecting to finish, if you go into things expecting to succeed, what? But if you go into things talking about the what ifs, 90, what, oh, I had the percentage. What percentage is it? It's like 95% or 98% of what ifs never happen. But if you focus on that, it's gonna stunt you. So focus on what will be. All right, let's see. Serving others is serving God. Absolutely. It is always my pleasure. Oh my goodness, y'all have no idea. Say that, don't talk about it, be about it. Yes, don't talk about it, be about it. Serving others is serving God. Absolutely. Yes, new things expand your mind and taking a risk, that's when you get the best opportunities in your life. And you know what? If you fall a little bit short, and actually my husband would always say, is you have successes and unsuccesses. And either way you win it. Because if you don't have the success that you set out to get, you at least you learn what not to do next time or what to do next time. You've learned. If you continue to learn regardless, you're winning. So always remember that. Whew. All right, you guys. I've been on here way longer than I had anticipated, but I appreciate you all for rocking with me. I do. Because because you didn't have to, but you did, and I appreciate that. And if you are free tomorrow, and you could just pop on in for a couple of minutes. I understand if you can't stay the whole time. There's a lot going on Friday nights, but if you can just pop on in and just say hello, I would love for you to just experience Eddie Sanders. I think you will really be blessed for it, and because of it, because he's a good dude. He's a good dude. All right, so until we speak again, remember to practice how you play. Because when you practice hard, you will always play to win. And good night to everyone. I want to thank everyone in the building. Thank you, Vern's Junk Closet, Vernell Livingston. Oh, do I start to say names? Be the Difference Clothing, Edward Smart. Thank you for being here. Um, Let me see who else. Scratch and Pete PA, Bright Creations. I know Bright Creations had to leave a little earlier. Over 50 and Fantabulous. Vernell Livingston, Lily's Crochet, aka Lisa Lisa. Thank you all for being here. Kanisha Harry, I appreciate you. It's been so good to have you all. Be the Difference Clothing. I think I might have said her. J601, thank you. The thing about saying names is you might miss someone. Samantha's Life, thank you for being here. Boss Life Online, I appreciate you. The Ford Beautification Project, thank you all for being here. And hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow. So, have a good time and a good night and a great day tomorrow. This has been Real Talk with Coach Sherry.